Hello, I'm Philip Stoughton for EMS Now. I'm here at SMT in Nuremberg and I'm joined by Dave Bennett from Mirtec. Dave, thanks for stopping by.
It's a pleasure.
You're telling me as we're walking over you've been on this insane travel schedule.
Yes, it's been incredibly busy.
What's that all been about? New products, new people?
Yes, I mean the Mirtec product line has been successful for some years now, but a couple of years back we launched a system called an MV9, and that's closing the gaps where escapes were still plaguing the AOI industry. And we brought in a 3D, if you can call it a gate, to close off those last few areas where it was difficult using just 2D technology. And the market had been looking at 3D for some time. It's not something that's revolutionary in the way that Mirtec do it. We're doing the same as many other companies are doing. The difference is we're working on a very, very strong 2D foundation.
Right.
As a 2D market leader for many years, putting on top of that 3D as a new sensor rather than an excuse or to remove the very established 2D base, that made the difference.
Okay.
The customers realize it's no good bringing in 3D and throwing away 2D. You don't throw the baby out with the water. You keep the very experienced, very established 2D, and you add the 3D sensors.
Okay.
And that gives you the complete package. And we're finding automotive customers, military customers, medical customers, those customers that want the absolute best performance and where really failure is not acceptable. The MV9 is just wiping the market. It really doesn't have a rival.
Okay. And in terms of your travel, where have you been? Which countries are demanding this product? Is it everywhere? Or?
Well, I've been traveling with European customers to Korea. That's one thing I've been doing. I've also been to the Korean shows. I've also been to Poland. I've been to Italy, Germany.
Right.
And it's only, April?
Yeah, And the European landscape, I mean, we're very aware of the demands, particularly in automotive here in Germany. What about the rest of Europe? What about Poland, Italy, places like that?
Oh, we've done really well. I mean, our Polish distributors are bringing several customers to this show to see the MV9 and our tabletop MV3, which is still a very dominant tabletop system. We've got successes in France, Italy, Spain, all over. Again, a lot of it automotive. It's their top tier customers. What we're finding is the sort of, if we use a football term, the Premier League clients, manufacturers, are very aware that we have something now that's going to give them what they want, which is a machine they can basically program, ignore, and know, and be confident that it's doing the job. And that machine has been a little bit of a dream, of a wish for manufacturers for some time. We've all been close. There's a lot of good AOI companies there, but we always had just that little percentage, and there was not a sensor that could find it. With our new cameras and with our new 3D capability on top of our 2D, we've been able to shut that gap. And significantly, every time the customers look at the machines, even against other 3D systems, they always come back and choose Mirtec.
Yeah, and Dave, with respect to what particularly the automotive guys are demanding, it's not just go, no-go on these things. They want data, they want traceability, they want information, and they want your stuff to interface with other equipment on the line.
Most definitely, yeah. There's a lot of talk about open protocols. I've been working with other companies, assembly companies, and who've been trying to drive some sort of standardization on things like dual rails and communication protocols. Personally, I'm a bit of an old guy in this industry. I've been around it a long time. I think it'd be very difficult. There are a lot of good companies who offer different solutions. We have a fantastic quality management system called Intellisys, which when a factory using Mirtec technologies, they can see when they have a failure, they can see what the pace looked like, they can see what the placement accuracy was like, and then they can see the final result, and they can then determine by all of the software and the prompts, this is probably a paste issue or whatever.
Yeah.
So those sort of tools exist, and those tools connect to a very, very sophisticated SPC package, and that in line can go to MES systems into a factory, and we can work with anybody's MES system.
Yeah.
So
and you potentially can provide feedback to perhaps a printer or
everything.
Or
we already close loop back to all the top printers.
Right.
So if we find an issue, we fire back to the printer, say, look, we're finding an issue. The corrective action is made on the printer. The problem goes away. It's a small problem that's solved rather than a complete issue that can affect a whole half day's production or worse.
Yeah, and we're in the middle of that kind of silly season a little bit for events. We've had Apex in California. We're here in Nuremberg. Next week we're going to be in Shanghai. Then we kind of have this pause through the year until we get into the autumn season.
Thankfully.
What about new products in the maybe next week, but also in the latter half of the next year? Mirtec's always coming out with something.
Yeah, we do. We've got new machines again for our LED division. We've got a lot of new exciting things going into the semiconductor industry. There are a lot of new enhancements that will be coming towards the MV9. One of the things we have is called Co-Express. Co-Express is a way to take the data. As you can imagine, with a 2D, 3D system, the amount of images and the amount of data is colossal. And that processing time is an issue. Most companies are using things like a cable link or a USB 3 or something. We actually have our cameras linked into Co-Express, which is a data transfer protocol that's immensely faster. You're talking, in comparison, something that's transferring 1.5 to something transferring 25.
Wow.
You know, so we can take these images, we can look closer, we can look in more detail, and that data, which could have got bunched up going into the processing loop, we're able to flush through very quickly with this new technology. And again, we're unique. No one else has this.
Well, the last thing you want is data being something that slows down the system,
Definitely.
especially in the kind of market we're in, where there's a lot of different products going down the line, a lot of different changeovers, lots of that kind of stuff. Last question, you mentioned the LED market. Is that a market that's serving Mirtec well, and is it predominantly in Asia?
Yes, well, I must say this is sort of hands up and respect to our CEO. He developed 5 systems, and myself and the other 2 presidents who look after one for Asia and one for the USA, we were a little bit taken aback when we saw these 5 LED machines, and we said, is there a market? You know, is it going to sell? And when he first had the machines, the answer was no, not really. But it got some interest, and last year we did tens of millions in LED products. So yes, not only did he see the opportunity, he built the 5 different models to do all of the different sectors that are required for LED manufacturing, and we're now very comfortably the market leader in that. So when he brings out something new, we're not going to question it next time.
You're not going to question
We're
him.
just going to sell it.
He's been consistently ahead of the curve, so
he's a very clever
let's
man.
hope he keeps doing that. Dave, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for
It's been
chatting.
an absolute pleasure.
I hope you have a really good show. Thank
you, my friend. All the best.